Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name is Kyle, and today we're doing a PPR mock draft with ESPN's mock draft tool. We're doing a 10-team league mock draft here. I'm picking from the 10th spot. This was a request from our guy Justin here. He's got a draft coming up in maybe 10, 12 days or something like that. So we are going to be just kind of trying some things out. We're at the back end of the first round, but we also get to come back with the 11th overall pick. So we're going to let the board fall to us. I did want to start the show by saying there was some news today. Justin Jefferson, actually, let me pull this up. Justin Jefferson's got an AC joint sprain in his shoulder. He fell a little bit hard on his left shoulder, I believe. It was just earlier in practice today. Here is the clip. Let me just see if I can play this. Full screen it for you guys. Yeah, it's blurry, but we'll rewind it here. So he lands hard on his left shoulder. It's an AC joint sprain, kind of up in here. He's probably not he's not playing in the preseason. He's probably gonna be questionable for week 1, so he's gonna change some draft plans. His current ADP right now is 25. He might dip into the 30s a little bit. I can see some people taking Mclaren, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, CeeDee Lamb. Some of these other receivers might go ahead of him. So we'll watch and see. I think if you're drafting, in 2, 3, 4 weeks. We'll probably take the discount on Justin Jefferson as long as everything's checking out okay. Because I'm not really, as long as he's going to play week 1, I'm not going to be too concerned. There's plenty. He's got a month to heal his shoulder before it gets into the full season mode. So I'm not moving Justin Jefferson. I think he's my wide receiver 8. Yes, wide receiver 8 right now. Again, just ahead of Allen Robinson, McLaurin, Woods, and CeeDee Lamb. So that was the big news from today. And then anything else? I guess Saquon Barkley was a little bit of a news today too. Let me read this. This came out today. This is from Ian Rappaport saying that Barkley's rehab from major knee injury has been going exceptionally well and speculates that the running back could make his season debut somewhere between week 1 and week 3. So I don't know how you guys feel about drafting your first round pick and not having him on the first week or 2 of the season, but it is a little concerning. I don't like that they're going to probably have to ramp up his workload if he's still not doing a lot of things. That could be a 1 to 2, 3 week, process of just getting back into playing form. So we do see the draft has begun here. Derrick Henry, number 1 in a PPR league. We can't be taking Derrick Henry the first overall, guys. That's a big mistake. Let me just pull this up right here. If you're in a standard league, maybe even a half PPR league, I'd consider it. But in the full PPR. Consider this. Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns last year, and he was still running back number 3. So that, to me, makes me a little bit nervous. I'm not drafting Derrick Henry as the top 3 back, in PPR leagues. So that one's a little crazy. Aiden says he likes drafting running back than receivers with late picks. Yes, that's kind of what I have been doing a lot lately. And then, Trey Lance, they're saying play situationally. I think that's just a way of him kind of hinting that, hey, we probably need to get Lance on the field sooner than later. And even if that's Jimmy Garoppolo starting, the first week, they play Detroit week 1. They play, I think, Philly week 2. Garoppolo should be able to manage 2 wins with that. But, man, if as soon as they let Lance on the field, I think the fan base and the reporters are just going to keep asking, okay, when's Lance starting? When's Lance starting? So, but let me do a little recap here. Derrick Henry, again, number 1. Christian McCaffrey, number 2. Dalvin Cook, number 3. AK-41 at 4. Saquon Barkley at number 5. For me, I'm not taking Saquon Barkley, and probably not even in the top 10. Give me Davante Adams. He's going to be if he's not the top 1 receiver this year, he's 2nd or 3rd. We know he's going to click in Green Bay again. Ezekiel Elliott was number 7. Austin Eckler, I like quite a bit in a PPR format. I actually put him on the thumbnail, and just in case we got him. But we're sitting at number 10 here, and we get Kelsey or Tyreek Hill to fall to us. And this board just gave us Travis Kelsey. So you got Tyreek Hill gone at number 9. The 2 players that stick out to me are Travis Kelsey and Aaron Jones. We have about 30 seconds to make this pick. If I just show you my RB rankings real quick, I got Aaron Jones up at RB6. I think that's going to be a pretty good deal for us as far as the running back off the board. So we're going to go ahead and run Aaron Jones in, and then just speculating, man, there's so many choices we can do here, but they gifted us Travis Kelsey, guys, at the 11th overall pick. I think it's kind of stupid to not take Travis Kelsey, but just hypothetical, we're going to take Kelsey here, but just a hypothetical, if Kelsey went number 9 and Tyreek Hill's on the board, and I'm looking between Tyreek, Diggs, Chubb, I'm probably still going to take the wide receiver. Give me the Chiefs piece or give me Diggs. I think at that point, I do like Nick Chubb. I love Antonio Gibson, but the way the board fell to us, man, I think we got to lock in a top 3 receiver or the number 1 overall tight end plus the running back. So I'm going to go ahead here and take Travis Kelsey, and we'll see what we got going on. Yeah, everybody else seems to agree with that. And Travis Kelsey he's just it's not even fair. I think Darren Waller can be close this year, but you just look at what Kelsey did to him last year. 1,400 receiving yards for Travis Kelsey, 11 touchdowns, 105 catches. That's almost 220 more yards than Darren Waller, 2 more touchdowns. It's a difference of 20.8 fantasy points per game to 17.5. So you're adding 3 points per position over Darren Waller. I think and then you compare that to the next guys, number 3 and number 4, Tunyon and Thomas. That's 11.8 and 11. Like, you're getting a 8 to 9 point advantage at the tight end spot. So I really like Travis Kelsey and Aaron Jones at the 10-11. That was best case scenario, I think, guys. Jonathan Taylor goes next. I'm probably not drafting Jonathan Taylor at round 2, pick 2 either. Especially, we don't know anything about Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson's injuries yet. If they're on we know it's a 5 to 12 week timetable, but if they are closer to 5 weeks out, I'm okay with Jonathan Taylor there. If it's more like 7, 8, 9, then I'm hesitating, because then you're going to be looking at a Jacob Eason-led offense for maybe the first month of football. It could be a bad recipe to start Jonathan Taylor this season. But while I got you guys here, if anyone is watching this and they want to play in a fantasy football league with me, we got Aiden, we got Justin, we got a couple other people that watch the show. Let me know. You guys can email me at theFellowKGB. I'll put it in the comments right here, right now. theFellowKGB@gmail.com. You guys can email me. We're going to be drafting on Labor Day Monday. I think it's either 6 or 7 o'clock, but I have a few spots open left. It's going to be a 12-team Superflex League. No kickers, no defenses. It's a lot of fun. 12-team Superflex League. Let me know if you guys are interested. Just send me an email, and I can send you guys the invitation. So check that out. And yeah, Najee did look pretty good last night. It looked fun. We're not going to really learn too much from that game, especially on the Cowboys side. They showed us nothing, but it was good to see Chase Claypool, even though he got hurt. Chase Claypool, 3 for 62. I actually, even before the game, I moved Chase Claypool up my rankings a little bit. And then I moved James Robinson up in my rankings a little bit. We're probably going to target him at some point. I'm coming around to James Robinson. We'll see where he falls in the ADP. I'm not going to reach too hard, but there were some really good blurbs about James Robinson coming out that he's been the clear lead back in training camp. So James Robinson is on my list. I do like Najee Harris quite a bit here too. Yes, he goes round 2, pick 8. Let me do kind of a recap. After we took Kelsey, Jonathan Taylor, Stephon Diggs, Nick Chubb, DeAndre Hopkins, Antonio Gibson, George Kittle, Najee Harris, Joe Mixon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Calvin Ridley to start the 3rd round. Keenan Allen, Darren Waller there at round 3, pick 3. Kyler Murray, first QB off the board. DK Metcalf, round 3, pick 5. Wow. And Chris Carson and J.K. Dobbins. So we're almost up to pick here. Let me review the comments. Monty's going round 3, which is high. In a 10-team league, it is a little high. I like Montgomery as a running back too, but it looks best as your running back 3 in your flex spot. We got Josh Hewlett hanging out with us. I'm in the same spot in my big draft, been contemplating. All right, so we're in pick 10. So you do have a 10-team league as well. What we did was we took Aaron Jones and Travis Kelsey. I think it's easy to say if Kelsey falls to you at the 10-11 turn, you have to take Kelsey. Don't even think about it. You want to do that. And then it really depends. If you like running backs later, you can do that and take the Tyreek Hill or take the Diggs and the Kelsey. But I think taking Kelsey plus a running back has been my spot there. So we're up to pick round 3, pick number 10. A.J. Brown's still on the board. This is a no-brainer for me. We don't have a wide receiver yet. We're getting an alpha, maybe top 5 wide receiver here. So he's going to really, provide some dividends for us there. So we got A.J. Brown, top 5. Let me see where he's in my rankings. I got A.J. Brown at 6. He's going to flirt with top 5 numbers. So I'm cool with locking in a stud receiver. And then now we're up to pick here again. And this is some kind of a luxury pick. As far as DeAndre Swift, I like DeAndre Swift. I don't know if I want to spend the 31st pick on him. Montgomery is a interesting call here as my running back too. We could have some fun and take Terry McLaurin, guys. What do you guys think about McLaurin? What do you think about CeeDee Lamb? How early would you guys take CeeDee Lamb? He has been the cream of the crop over in Dallas training camp. He sounds like he's having a really fun camp. So I'm going to say in the 4th round here, I'm just going to take CeeDee Lamb. He's my favorite player. I got his jersey on the way, so I'll wear that when I get it. But the round 4, I could have taken Montgomery. I really like the wide receivers here, so I went with the receivers, and we'll kind of wait on RB. So let's see. Harris, Gibson, Eckler, Kelsey, or Jones, depending. Aaron Jones has been a lock for me. If you're picking at the 10 spot in a 10-team league, or if you're picking at the 12 spot in a 10-team league and Aaron Jones falls, I think Aaron Jones is worth the pick anywhere 10, 11, 12th overall. So I love Jones. And then again, if Kelsey is gone, I don't care. Like Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones and Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones and Antonio Gibson, Aaron Jones and Najee Harris. That sounds like a really good idea to land 2 stud running backs. So I like what you're thinking there, Josh. And yeah, CeeDee Lamb as our wide receiver too. I didn't have any kind of expectations with this. And Justin and I have been doing a lot of mock drafts on the side, and I don't think any of them have looked like this. So we're going to be finding some running backs later in the draft. Hopefully that we can fill that out. So ETN has took all the snaps in the slot from what I've heard. They like ETN as a matchup nightmare with a linebacker. Yes. So ETN, I kind of view Travis. Aiden and I have talked about this before, but I kind of see the Jacksonville Jaguars very similar to the Cleveland Browns backfield. I think they're going to run the ball with James Robinson. They're going to sprinkle in elements of ETN on the ground, but they want to throw ETN the ball. So it's kind of like the Nick Chubb and the Kareem Hunt. Maybe they're not the ideal matches, but they're going to be kind of used similar, where I do think Kareem Hunt, ETN, those are going to be top 25, PPR running back too. So I think that's pretty interesting. Thank you, guys. I got a mellow one coming. Oh, you got the number 7. Nice. Thank you, Josh. This is a lot of fun. I'm moving this weekend, so I don't know how many videos I'm going to pump out this weekend, but I might just pop out a couple mock drafts. I might use Yahoo. I might use Sleeper. I don't know what I want to do yet. But anyways, we are moving. After we took CeeDee Lamb, DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Terry McLaurin falls to round 4, pick 6. Josh Jacobs, Robert Woods, Mike Evans, Miles Sanders, 5th round, pick 1. Adam Thielen. With this Justin Jefferson news, I might just do a slight bump to Adam Thielen's numbers, just a little bit. I think is probably reasonable. I'm not going to reach for him in the 4th or in the 3rd round for sure, but at the 501, that makes a lot of sense where he is. Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, big receiver run coming here. And yeah, ETN, he does have that burst. He's a little bit more of a finesse running back, I think. Kareem Hunt's a really good running back, but I think ETN's got a little bit more finesse and wiggle to his game. So I'm excited. I think the Jaguars offense could be very underrated this year. I don't know which receiver is going to be the best receiver there, but I like the receivers. I like the running backs. They don't have a tight end to worry about, so it should be a pretty good bet on one of the receivers and some of the running backs to hit. And Chase. So Jamar Chase, round 5, pick 2. I like Jamar Chase. I think he can be a wide receiver 2 this year. For us, we could potentially fill in a flex here. If we get a 3rd receiver, we might be looking at quarterback. Let's take a peek here. This is kind of the range where I like to think about quarterbacks. Should we take the $100 million guarantee Josh Allen? He just signed his bonus today. We could take Josh Allen here. He's a pretty good option. We're about 30 seconds away. Chris Godwin, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Ayuk. I have a hard time passing up one of these receivers. There's really not a running back here that makes sense to me yet. We talked about ETN, Kareem Hunt, Edmonds. I wouldn't mind waiting though. If we can find James Robinson maybe later, Damian Harris, James Conner, and yeah. So we'll roll the dice here. We got 10 seconds left. I'm gonna go ahead and just slam Brandon Ayuk. He's been having one of the best camps. I've been covering him the last couple days, and he's been lighting it up. So at this point, it makes sense to take a running back here. Should we just get a really good player on our bench? That could be Chris Godwin. That could be T. Higgins. That could be Tyler Lockett. This is just kind of where the board is falling to us. It's a ton of receivers, but I like the receivers later. We don't need a backup tight end. Let's go ahead and take a running back, I think. I'm going to take James Robinson here. let's just get James Robinson locked into our running back too. He's a damn good running back. I actually want to pull up. I'll show you guys one of the things that they said. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Might have tweeted it out. So the one thing that's, I think in hindsight, I probably would have just taken Josh Allen on the team. Let me see what the top tweet is. So yeah, this is from one of the camp reporters, Byron Lambert there. James Robinson is unequivocally the starting running back of the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's a little clip of him talking, but it just sounds like he is the main guy there getting all the carries. So it sounds like depth chart. I one Chark, who has looked great camp, two Chenault, who is yep. And the thing about Marvin Jones is he's the only one that has familiarity with the offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevell, who is in Detroit the last few seasons. So I think all three guys can be useful at times. It just really depends. And it's very interesting here. It does feel weird passing on Chris Godwin. Typically, I tell you guys I like to continue to take the best player available. So I might have made a mistake there. We could have maybe had James Robinson at the turn. We probably should have just taken Chris Godwin there. So if we just pretend we have Chris Godwin on the team, we can maybe take some running backs later. But I don't know. For the most part, I play if you guys watch my videos, most of my leagues have two flexes. So Chris Godwin would have been a starter for me in that situation, which is why I tell you guys to continue to draft as many flex players as you can, regardless of what position it is. The board's going to fall how it's going to fall. We just got to continue to take the best player at the spot there. So what is J-Rob ADP like? 6th round. Is there a way to see this? Show drafted. James Robinson got a 78th ADP here. I'm going to pull up drafters.com, and I just want to see where he's going right now. So James Robinson ADP is roughly, dang, it's low. It's about 89.7 on here. So I think you're going to see a ramp up in James Robinson's ADP coming in. So he's my RB2, but again, with that position, I'm going to try to find a handful of guys to plug in there. Let me go ahead and click undrafted here and see. So T. Higgins is falling. A lot of receivers are falling here, guys. T. Higgins, Juju, Robbie Anderson, Chase Claypool, Laviska Shenault, Jerry Jeudy. Those are probably my top receivers available. I don't know if I want to take one, but we will. Let's just evaluate here. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert. I'm fine with getting either of those guys. We'll probably take a QB at our spot there. As far as running backs go, Chase Edmonds, Javonte Williams, Mike Davis just went. But then there's Damian Harris. There's Raheem Mostert, Zach Moss. I really, really like James Conner. We'll see if we can get – I don't know if I want to play the game here. James Conner's going 110. We can play the ADP game and see what happens. But at this point, I think we're going to go with a quarterback at this spot because that just looks like the best value here. Even though they got the quarterbacks kind of pushed down here. If we wanted to take another wide receiver, we got A.J. Brown, C.D. Lamb, Brandon Ayuk. We could take a fourth receiver and just load up the bench. Robbie Anderson, Chase Claypool, Laviska Shenault, even Odell Beckham. I wouldn't mind getting either of those guys on my bench right now. And yeah, Davis would have been nice. This is interesting, Justin, because we haven't seen anything kind of like this the last few days when we've been mocking. So we'll see what we do here. I think for the main thing, though, is I really like the quarterbacks in this range. If you've watched my videos, I've been telling people the tier in the 7th, 8th round for quarterbacks is really, really good. Whether it's Rodgers, Herbert, or Russell Wilson, this is some of the best value because you're potentially getting a top 5 guy, in this range. So we're gonna land on Rodgers. I don't care if you have a preference for Wilson or Herbert. I think either one of these guys is totally cool. So we'll plug A-Rod in there. We've got Rodgers and Jones. I don't think that bothers me too much. Let's look at the running backs. Javonte Williams, we could take the fun stud rookie running back here. We could take a wide receiver. Again, Robbie Anderson, Chase Claypool. It feels wrong to pass on these guys. So we might play even Michael Gallup later. Maybe we wait for Gallup, but I'm going to go ahead here and take Robbie Anderson. He seemed to be a little bit higher on the list. He's got the familiarity in Carolina with Sam Darnold. So at that point, we got 4 really, really good wide receivers. I think we can wait. I could have – what's going on in Denver? I don't know what is going on in Denver. With the running back situation, are we asking Javonte Williams? It's what's scaring me a little bit off Javonte Williams is I wish he would go a round later. I still am really high on Javonte Williams, but the training camp battle between Melvin Gordon, Melvin Gordon's a competent enough back to hold off Javonte just for a little bit. So at that point, I think the next round we're going to wait and see what running backs we can get to fall to us. There's a good chance James Conner is there. There's a good chance there's still so many guys I like, whether it's James Conner, I like Michael Carter a ton. A.J. Dillon's not a bad one to get the Aaron Jones handcuff. Ronald Jones, Trey Sermon, a handful of guys yet that seem to make sense. And the good news is we don't need a tight end yet. We have plenty of tight ends available. We already got Travis Kelsey. I don't care if we get a backup down here like Anthony Ferkser. We got Aaron Rodgers, so I don't know when we need a quarterback, but if you want a backup quarterback and you have a stud quarterback, go ahead and take Justin Fields. Did Trey Lance already go off the board? Where's Trey Lance? I don't see Trey Lance. There's Jimmy. Trey Lance right here. Okay. So for me, backing up a really good top 5, top 10 quarterback, I don't really need to waste a pick. I'm going to go ahead and take one of those rookie quarterbacks later in the draft. So we're moving here after we took Aaron Rodgers and Robbie Anderson, Chase Claypool, Justin Herbert, Laviska Shenault, Javonte Williams, Dallas Goedert, William Fuller, Brandon Cooks, Russ Wilson, DJ Chark, Jerry Jeudy, Antonio Brown, one of my favorite picks, Tyler Boyd, Curtis Samuel. We got Matt Boehm hanging out in the chat room. Aaron Rodgers going to have another MVP year, 40-plus TDs again. I feel really good about the 40-plus TDs, especially because it's a 17-game schedule now. I think he threw, 44 last year, so to expect some regression, but then to have an extra game, he's probably going to be, in that 41, 42 range, I think. So I feel pretty good about it. The defense in Green Bay is still going to be kind of the same. It's not a shutdown defense, but the Packers are going to continue to score points. It was the number 1 scoring offense last year. They got better. They're adding Randall Cobb. They're adding Amari Rodgers, so you got some more fun wrinkles for them. I think MVS is going to be a little bit better this year too. A whole season of Allen Lazard, hopefully healthy. And then keep in mind, Devontae Adams missed some games last year too. So Rodgers he could maybe go for 50 at this point. Who really knows? So the Packers offense is definitely one we want to target. So we're up to pick in a second here. Michael Gallup this late, guys. That should be one of the best values available. But just look at them running backs. If we can get Damien Harris, I feel pretty good. This is probably where you need to take a Michael Carter, who's going to be the starting running back for the New York Jets. So he's the one guy that really excites me, and especially in PPR, he's going to be the leading ball carrier, and he's going to be the leading receiving back for them. So Michael Carter, we have 2 picks here. It's between Carter, Connor, and Damien Harris. I feel the most excitement about Michael Carter. We don't know what we're getting with him, but I'm going to go ahead and take him. And then it's between Damien Harris, James Conner. I feel really good about James Conner. It's also a measure of different offenses for me. So James Conner with the Cardinals offense versus Damien Harris and the Patriots offense. Which team is going to score more points and get to the red zone more often? To me, I think it's James Conner in the Arizona Cardinals. Let me just double check here on my rankings. I'd like to stay true to these. James Conner is there, and so is Michael Carter, and then Damien Harris is 31. So I'm going to go ahead and take James Conner here. Now, we did see Michael Gallup go round 9, pick 9, but now we're starting to fill out some really good options here. We got Aaron Rodgers. We're set at QB. Week 13, we need someone with a bye week, so we'll be fine up until then. Aaron Jones and James Robinson are our 1 and 2, but then we just added Michael Carter and James Conner. So we have 4 competent backs. A.J. Brown, C.D. Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, and Robbie Anderson. That's 4 really, really good receivers. And then we got the best tight end in fantasy football. So this is feeling really good. I like the way that our bench is starting to fill out here. And that's Trey Sermon. We could look for him yet. He's down here at 125. But I'm feeling pretty good about this. The bench, again, if you guys have seen my videos before, I'm going to tell you just to keep snagging good flex players in the draft. And yeah, I don't know why Damien Harris is falling. He had a 91 ADP. He's a really good player for them last year, and he's going to get all the ones, the reps with the ones. So it's a little surprising to see him fall right now. I think a lot of people are looking at quarterback and probably wide receiver right now. He should be off the board. There's going to be some auto picks here, so he's coming off the board in a sec. But I don't know. At this point, our whole, our base is set. We got 4 wideouts, 4 running backs, a stud QB, and a stud tight end. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. We don't need a backup quarterback just yet. Let me look at the tight ends. I'm totally, because we got Travis Kelsey, his bye is week 12. I'm probably going to wait till the tank is empty. The last pick, I'll go Ferkser or Jared Cook or Jarwin. We'll look at that later. But we're going to continue to hammer running backs and wide receivers here. What's up, Sports Dog? Glad you got it figured out. Hope the ESPN drafting goes well for you. We're probably going to start seeing a lot of ADP sliding around over the next couple weeks. And again, once we get some preseason games where some players start making plays, there's going to be some knee-jerk reactions. So that's going to be kind of fun. We got Moore. Who's the Moore? Wide receiver Moore? Elijah Moore. I'm a big fan of Elijah Moore at this range. Receivers that I'm looking at this range, probably I like Marvin Jones, but I prefer Mike Williams. Give me Mecole Hardman. Give me Darnell Mooney, Elijah Moore. Those are the top receivers that I'm looking at here. But because we're a little bit light on running back, we could get A.J. Dillon. We could get Ronald Jones. We could get Trey Sermon. How do you guys feel about locking in A.J. Dillon and potentially just handcuffing Aaron Jones? That idea doesn't bug me as well. We know we're going to get the Packers running back 1 for the full season. That seems to be a pretty cheap, really good backup option. And they're still going to use A.J. Dillon for the most part, maybe 8 to 9 carries a game, I would think. So this is looking pretty good here. We missed on Hardman. We missed on Mooney. As far as wide receivers still available, again, if you wanted Mike Williams, if you wanted Elijah Moore, that's probably where you got to do it. There are some receivers that I like a little bit later. Emmanuel Sanders is hurt right now, so maybe we grab one of the wideouts. But if we had to just grab one running back, I think Sermon has probably the most upside of anyone, especially if Raheem Mostert goes down or anything. So we're going to add the rookie running back for San Francisco. And if they put Trey Lance in sooner than later, that team's just going to have a wicked running game with the play action there too. So I like Sermon in this role here. And then it doesn't feel great picking A.J. Dillon here because we know we're not going to really use him unless something happens to Aaron Jones. So it's purely an injury hedge. But at that point, we take A.J. Dillon, our running back room is pretty much set. So I think I am okay with let's go ahead and snag A.J. Dillon here. And if I didn't take Dillon, I'm probably taking Mike Williams or Elijah Moore. So that's probably where my mind is going. And we only have 2 more flex options left to pick. The Saints wideout, Marquez Callaway. If you guys don't know who Marquez Callaway is, let me actually pull up his numbers here. Is there a search bar? Callaway. So Marquez Callaway is going to be probably the leading receiver for the Saints this year. He had a pretty good rookie season, 21 receptions on 27 targets, 213 yards, no touchdowns, but a really, really solid kind of slot receiver for them. And he's going to be used in the Michael Thomas role. You look at his game logs from last year, he only had really 1 good game, but in that game he had 10 targets, 8 catches, 75 yards. I think he's probably going to be somewhere in between the 6 to 10 targets per game as long as Michael Thomas is out. So he, especially late in the draft, man, he's free. So getting a guy like Callaway seems to make a ton of sense. I mean, I don't even see him on this list yet. There he is at 368. So the Saints receiver, a really good option for you at the end of drafts. Mike Williams just got off the board round 12, pick 7. There's value kind of at all positions, but we only have 2 more flex spots left. If you guys are drafting sooner than later, I think I got to go get Trey Lance on this team. Again, we have Aaron Rodgers, but the opportunity to pass up on a guy that could be a dual threat quarterback. Think of Trey Lance. He's kind of a combination of Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. He's got the rushing upside of a Kyler Murray, but he's a really smart thrower, just like Russell Wilson. So I'm into that. And yes, Callaway and Trey Lance is probably where I'm going to do my walk-off picks. I just want to do my due diligence because we only have 4 wide receivers, guys. Callaway would be nice as our 5th. Do we want a 6th just in case? I really like Emmanuel Sanders. He's out with a foot problem right now, so we'll monitor that in a second. I think I'm good with that. So we're going to go ahead and queue up Trey Lance. Where is he? Justin Fields is also another guy. Especially if you're a Bears fan, go ahead and get your guy, right? I keep missing Trey Lance because they got his picture in there. So we're going to queue up Lance, and then we'll queue up. At this point, Devontae Parker is dirt cheap. Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers. Don't know if I care about the Patriots receivers. Russell Gage is an interesting one. We don't have an Atlanta piece in this offense, but Russell Gage is going to be a solid 10 to 12 points per game, kind of as their slot. Aiden must be liking which receiver here. You're thinking Rashad Perriman or Tyrell Williams. You couldn't get technically the number one receiver for the Lions. That could be a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead here and take how do I get to my queue? We'll take Trey Lance here, and that'll give us some more time. Rashad Bateman's an interesting guy. Terrace Marshall. We already have the Carolina receiver, Robbie Anderson, but Terrace Marshall is intriguing. KJ Hamler could be kind of fun. I'm gonna go ahead and take Marquez Callaway. The only reason why I'm nervous about the Detroit Lions receivers is because I know TJ Hawkinson's gonna probably be the leading target guy in that offense. And then when I just think about Rashad Perriman and Tyrell Williams, they've been injured a lot. I do like Amon-Ra St. Brown, but then again, I think he's still a 5th round rookie where I don't know how exciting he can be. But at this point in the draft, that's a good option to have. I'd rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown than the 2 veteran receivers there. So I do like Aiden's call of Amon-Ra St. Brown at this point, who I think was still on the board. Yes, he was still on the board. So at this point in the draft, you just want a guy that can be kind of a high upside and hopefully get you a few weeks where you can maybe use him. So I really like this draft, though. I thought this went really well. We got a huge, deep running back bench of Michael Carter, James Conner, Trey Sermon, and A.J. Dillon. Our running back starters, Aaron Jones, James Conner. I really like our wide receivers, the ones at the top, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, Robbie Anderson, and then we got Marquez Callaway at the end of the bench. Again, we're probably not going to use that 5th receiver very much because we have 4 really, really good ones. And then you got Travis Kelsey. I didn't even draft a backup tight end because we got 12 weeks until the bye week. We'll figure it out when we get there. I'm not too concerned about that. So, again, yeah, this is drafts. You got to do as many mock drafts as you can. I'm not saying this is the right answers or I have all the right players and all the right picks. I felt like we kind of reached on James Robinson. I've been interested to see if we can get him one more round later. But James Robinson, guys, he's probably going to start ramping up some of my projections here. I like getting James Robinson at the back here. And, yeah, hopefully we threw some new names at you, Justin, just trying to do as many different things. That we got to try as many different scenarios as possible here. So I know you probably don't expect to get Travis Kelsey here, but in that case, you could easily swap out the 3rd and 4th round picks for maybe actually Kittle and Waller went kind of high, so maybe we can't even do that. But anyways, we got defense and kicker left. Do we need to? Do we care? Patriots, Browns, Saints, Packers, Dolphins, Vikings. At this point, the Browns sound cool. If you wanted to reach for a defense, Washington. I like the Browns, but they have a tough division playing Pittsburgh and Baltimore twice. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the Browns. And then kicker, Justin Tucker's available. That feels wrong. We'll just take Justin Tucker, and we will call it a day. So awesome. I'll wait for the draft to finish here. If you guys are still hanging out with me, check out the draft kit, 2021 draft kit on thefantasyfellowship.com. I'm going to be updating my cheat sheets this weekend. If you guys have any requests for a certain date where I can, what's cool about the cheat sheet is you can just click on it and it's going to open up the link here. You guys can just hit print on this, take it to your drafts. I got everybody updated in the rankings. I have all the bye weeks on there for you too. So it's a really simple cheat sheet. But check out the draft kit if you guys are interested. And yeah, let's just kind of look at this team one more time here after the draft is complete. And this was the 10th overall pick in a 10-team draft. I'm hoping our bench has got some answers at running back between Michael Carter, James Conner, Trey Sermon, A.J. Dillon. One of those guys could pop off and be a force to end the season. And that's kind of what I decided to do with a lot of my drafts is I'm kind of thinking long term. I'm thinking about who might be useful November, December. So guys like Trey Sermon, Michael Carter, rookie running backs who could be, ramping up their workload. Javonte Williams would have been another one. And then you got guys like A.J. Dillon, where if they're giving him carries and it gets cold, man, like A.J. Dillon could be just getting 10, 12 carries a game. Aaron Jones could be, being used heavily as a wide receiver too. So a lot of fun possibilities here, but I don't know. This draft is taking forever, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Thank you guys so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. We got NBA not NBA. We got USA men's basketball going for gold tonight. I think they're playing France, so check that out if you guys are interested. And thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.